This ugly girl with glasses is commonly recognized as a country bumpkin, but beneath her heavy glasses, she hides an exceptional beauty, a graceful figure, usually wrapped up tightly. Before discovering the truth, the male protagonist was always troubled. Confessed by the ugly girl who had been brought up, he was preoccupied with being used as a tool by his senior schoolmate and childhood friend. In the end, not only did he not gain anything, but they also shifted all the blame onto him. At that moment, the male protagonist awakened completely. All that nonsense about senior schoolmates and childhood friends, he had worked tirelessly to help them pursue their interests in someone named Xiaosang. Yet, they merely saw him as a tool, to be discarded after use. Uttering these words, the male protagonist essentially gave up on Chuya because he believed that explaining things to his friend Xiaosang afterward would lead to a happy resolution. Suddenly, Sancheng loudly inquired of the male protagonist, asking why he was helping Chuya and Ing, all the while actively introducing her to Xiaosang. Misunderstanding left the male protagonist speechless. Xiaosang, upon hearing this, asked if it was true, which instantly made the male protagonist an object of scorn, and Xiaosang angrily punched him far away. Ultimately, the male protagonist was labeled as the one who manipulated girls' emotions, despite not actually doing anything wrong. The scene in the library was coincidentally witnessed by someone and spread, leading the male protagonist to be isolated by everyone. Chu Ying even expelled him from the student council. Suddenly, Sancheng sent a message asking her to come to the library. Despite his dislike for the ugly girl with glasses, the male protagonist arrived as agreed during lunch break. The other party strangely asked him to help find a book. Unexpectedly, an uninvited guest arrived. Xiaosang's arrival left the male protagonist in panic, fearing further misunderstandings. Xiaosang would visit Sancheng at the library every lunch break, and his overt chess matches seemed to show support for his friend. Suddenly, Sancheng leaned on Xiaosang, asking him something that excited him immensely. Her words were like a bolt from the blue, making Xiaosang tense up. She revealed how he had set up the male protagonist, and this level of understanding made Xiaosang sweat. It turned out that he believed Xiaosang couldn't possibly be unaware of Chu Ying's and his affections. He pretended not to notice, intending to use this situation to trap the male protagonist. As long as the relationship between Chu Ying, Xiaosang, and the male protagonist cracked, he could take everything from the male protagonist. His sharp words pierced Xiaosang's defenses. The male protagonist refused to help him pursue Sancheng, further infuriating Xiaosang and sparking a series of revenge. Reflecting on Xiaosang's past actions, though unbelievable, everything started to make sense. Despite the pain and disbelief, the male protagonist realized that Xiaosang was manipulative. He had used Chu Ying and others, but it had led to double the pain for the male protagonist. Afterward, Xiaosang confronted Xiaosang, criticizing his actions. Xiaosang appeared twisted and ugly. Even though he had manipulated the feelings of Chu Ying and others, it had caused the male protagonist immense suffering. In the end, Xiaosang confronted Sancheng and discovered her affection for the male protagonist. This turned Xiaosang's world upside down, and he lashed out. The truth was, the male protagonist was listening to everything. Xiaosang's true nature was exposed, and though he had manipulated Chu Ying and others, he was suffering doubly. After Xiaosang left, Sancheng continued acting affectionately toward the male protagonist, who walked away. However, two people had been eavesdropping on everything. Unaware, the male protagonist found Chu Ying guarding his shoe cabinet, harshly telling her to leave. She didn't get angry and instead apologized and left. Even Sun Hongkue acted strangely, preventing anyone from doodling on the male protagonist's seat. Unexpectedly, in front of the entire class, Xiaosang admitted his mistake, clearing the male protagonist's name. Suddenly, Sancheng asked the male protagonist if he wanted to know why Xiaosang liked him. She began to explain, and the male protagonist turned away. He didn't want the first thing he saw after turning around to be the ugly girl. However, as the buttons on her chest popped open, a beautiful girl appeared before him. Shocked, the male protagonist realized Sancheng was the girl who approached him during last year's baseball game. With this revelation, the male protagonist, now understanding the truth, agreed to meet Sanchanging in the library every day. Without waiting for his reaction, Sanchanging suddenly kissed him, leaving the male protagonist bewildered. He both loved and hated this girl before him, loved her appearance but despised her character.